Technology largely took a breather in August with the Nasdaq down 1.5%. But could the 23 rally pick back up again come fall? Our Deirdre Bosa is here with the September setup for tech. Morning, Dee.
Hey, morning, Carl. Well, chips, they have had their time in the sun the whole first half of this year. So investors, they may now be looking to another area for reacceleration, and that might be software. A couple of earnings last night underscoring a theme that we have seen emerge over the last month or so. Software versus semis, told through MongoDB and Broadcom today. The latter is up nearly 6% on a strong beat, while Broadcom is lower by about the same amount. Now, MongoDB's results and consumption-based model, that bodes well for other software peers like Datadog, Snowflake, Confluent. There was also Oracle, that upgrade, and Shopify, which surged on its Amazon partnership, propelling this whole space. Also, you add expectations that the rate tightening cycle is over, and there you go, the rotation to growth in software, that could have legs, that could continue. Now, the bar for semis, meanwhile, that seems to have just gotten higher. NVIDIA's massive beat and raise last quarter had a more muted effect on the stock. And then look at Broadcom today, its inline outlook, it just wasn't enough for Wall Street. So that all could suggest a shift also in the AI hype cycle at large. The upside for chips, the picks and shovels of the boom, that may now be largely priced in. And investors, they could now be looking for leaders in cloud data management and new AI products and apps through those software names. Now, we showed you this chart a few months ago. I hope our audience is paying attention because this is when chips were getting all of the attention. The chart looks at the mobile shift as a roadmap. It was similar. Investors piled into semis first, and then infrastructure, and then software and services. This seems to be playing out again in the generative AI hype cycle. So guys, maybe our audience wants to look investors. They want to look at software and services, especially that infrastructure, the likes of MongoDB and Snowflake, for where this hype cycle is going.
Huh. That's really interesting, Deirdre. From an analogy standpoint, where do you think the software services is on kind of the demand side of things in that cycle? Is it part of the upswing, at the top of the upswing?
Well, that's why MongoDB and Snowflake, they're so interesting because these are consumption-based models, right? So if their customers, enterprise customers, have more money to spend and they are spending more, that tells us something about the space. It's all sort of going to be this ecosystem. What is interesting as well, though, is that kind of quietly prices are actually going higher on the software side. Everyone from Salesforce to Shopify to Klaviyo, which is going to list in a few weeks, they've actually been raising prices. So you got to look a little deeper at that top line growth. So investors are buying it on this growth promise. Growth rates are, coming in a little bit higher. That's what happened last night with MongoDB. But how much of that is due to them raising prices and how much of that is due to new customer acquisitions? An important difference, and maybe tells you something about how sustainable this is going to be.